Hi there, hope you have a fantastic day today. This lesson I will teach you how to work out a vector by using dot products. Of course, there's a PDF file versions on the description below for you to download so you can work with me. Otherwise, let's go straight into it. First one, so we need to work out the vector A, given that B is this, and we know that A dot B is -2. And the angle between two vectors is 120 degrees. So first of all, we know that A dot B, vector A dot vector B is equal to magnitude of A and times by magnitude of vector B and cos the angle in between. So let me just work out vector A dot vector B first, okay? So we know that vector A dot vector B. So let's say A, we don't know. That's what we need to work out. So let's say A, vector A is xi plus yj. So therefore, A dot B, so that means xi plus yj and dot vector B, that is 2i plus j. Now to work out the dot product for this, so what we do, the I component, which is times together, so x times 2 is 2x. And then we add the products of the j component, so that means y times 1, because in front of j, which means 1, okay? So that means y times 1 is y. So therefore, A dot B is equal to 2x plus y. And we also know that A dot B is -2. So in another word, -2 is equal to 2x plus y. So this is A dot B. So please take note on this. So A dot B is equal to this. And then -2 is equal to 2x plus y. And now we just make y as a subject first. So this means that y is equal to, we move the x on that side. So that means -2x minus 2. So we have another equations. Now what we need to do is we need to find the magnitude of A and find magnitude of B. So magnitude of A, let me just write this down. So we know that vector A is xi plus yj. So therefore, magnitude of A, which is just using Pythagoras theorem, so that means x squared plus y squared and square root of that. Then now we need to find the magnitude of B. So magnitude of B is equal to, so we have B is 2i. Let me just write this on here. So B is equal to 2i plus j. So that means 2 squared plus, so 1 squared and square root of that. So that is equal to, so 2 squared is 4, 4 plus 1 is 5. So the magnitude of B is square root of 5. So now we have A dot B and we have magnitude of A, we have magnitude of B, and we know the angle between the two vectors is 120 degrees. So let me just work this out. So cos of theta, which is cos of 120. Now 120 is in this quadrant. So therefore, the reference angle is 60 degrees. This is 120 degrees. So in this quadrant, cos is negative. So therefore, that is exactly the same as negative cos of the reference angle. That is 60 degrees. So cos of 60 degrees is a half. So that means negative a half. So now let me just write down the dot product formula first, okay? So let me move this up. So we know that A dot B, so that becomes magnitude of vector A and magnitude of vector B, and then cos of the angle in between. So we know that A dot B is -2. So let me just work this out. So that is -2. And then A magnitude of A is x squared plus y squared. So x squared plus y squared. square root of that. And magnitude of b is root 5, square root of 5. And cos of theta is cos of 120, so times by negative half. So there you go. So let me just times the negative 2 on both sides because I want to get rid of this half. So I times by negative 2 because I want to get rid of this negative half. So times by negative 2. So that cancels it out. So that will give me 4 is equal to x squared plus y squared square root. And you times by square root of 5. Let me just move this up. Now remember, square root of a times square root of b will give me a b square root. So this means that square root of x squared plus y squared times square root of 5 is exactly the same as 5 times x squared plus y squared square root will give me 4. Now what I do now is I just square both sides because I want to get rid of the square root. So if I square both sides, so that means 4 squared will give me 16. And then the square root disappears. So that gives me 5 x squared plus y squared. So 16 will give me 5x squared plus 5y squared. So there you go. Then we need to solve for x and y, okay? Now to solve for this, we know that earlier, we also work it out, y is equal to this. So y is equal to negative 2x minus 2. So I just substitute that equation in. So let me just name this equation number 1, okay? Equation number 1. And then this is equation number 2, okay? So it makes it easier. So now, what I do, I'm going to substitute equation number 1 into equations number 2. So in another word, let me just write this down. Y is equal to negative 2x minus 2. Okay, that is equation number 1. So now I just substitute y replace with negative 2x minus 2. So 16 will give me 5x squared plus 5 lots of y squared. So y squared. So y is negative 2x minus 2. And then we square because this is y. And then this y is this. Okay. So keep that in mind. So now what I do, I just expand the bracket first. Okay. That's the number 1 step. So let me just write 16 down. So 5x squared. Now to expand this, so what I do, I use perfect square. So we go, remember a plus b or a minus b, doesn't matter, square will give me a squared and a times b, which is ab, and we double it. Okay, so I'm just using these techniques, just quicker, that's all. And that's a rule. Okay, so therefore, negative 2x squared, that means like this, negative 2x squared. So that means 2 squared is 4, x squared is x squared. So that means plus 5 and 4x squared. And then negative 2x times negative 2. So that will give me a positive. This times this, give me 4x. And I double it. So that give me 8x, right? So I just write this down. So plus 8x. And then negative 2 squared is 4. So we plus 4. So now I just remove the bracket first. So that means 16 is equal to 5x squared plus 5 times 4 is 20. So 20x squared. 5 times 8 is 40. So 40x. And 5 times 4 is 20. So there you go. Now I just tidy up, okay? So we have 5x squared plus 20x squared. So that will give me 25x squared. So 25x squared. And then the 40x, I just write this down. And then don't forget, we need to move the 16 on that side. So this becomes 0. So 16 move on the other side becomes negative 16 or minus 16 if you like. So 20 minus 16 is 4. So therefore, we add 4. So now what I do, I need to solve these quadratic equations. Now to solve this, I just quickly use quadratic formulas to solve this, to find x value if you like. So now I know the rule is x is equal to negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac. And we square root of this and over 2a. And don't forget, a is 25, b is 40, and c is 4. Now I just substitute the value into quadratic formula, okay? So that will give me negative 40 plus or minus 40 squared minus 40 times a, which is times 25, and times c, which is 4. And square root of this. And over 2 times a. And a is 25, don't forget, okay? So 2 times 25 is 50. So I just write 50. So now I just put that on a calculator. So what I do now is I just go 40 squared minus 4 times 25 and times 4. So that gives me 1,200. So let me just write this down. So that equals negative 40 plus or minus 1,200. Square root of this, of course, over 50. So now we just work it out, okay? But the question did not specify how many decimal places, so just make it into 2 first, okay? So I just go fractions, negative 40 minus square root of answer and go down 50. So there you go. So x is equal to negative 1.49, okay? So let me write it down, negative 1.49, or, so let me write it down, x is equal to, so since we're gonna use this later, so I better just to store that into memory A first. I press answer, shift, store A. So now let's work out the other one. So I just go fractions, negative 40, and I go plus square root of 1,200 and divide by 50. So there you go. So negative 1.1, okay? So let me go shift, store into B first. So the answer is negative 0.11. So now we need to solve for y value. So when x is equal to 1.49, so y must equal to, so this is the equation here. So y is equal to negative 2x minus 2. So that will give me negative 2 bracket negative 1.49 minus 2. So let me just put that on a calculator. So I just go negative 2 bracket A, because I store negative 1.49 into memory A. Okay, remember that, minus 2. So 0.99, just write into 2 decimal places will do, okay? So 0.99. And for x is equal to negative 1.1, so y is equal to negative 2 and negative 0.11 minus 2. So that will give me, so I just go negative 2 brackets alpha b and then minus 2. So negative 1.78. So negative 1.78. So therefore, vector I is equal to, so when x is negative 1.49 I, that means y equals 0.99 j, or I is equal to negative 0.11 I minus 1.78 j. So vector A there. So there you go. Please pause the video and try this one yourself. Hi there, I'm back. How do you go? So let me go through it with you, okay? Before I do that, please do not forget to give me a thumb up and subscribe if you haven't done so you can help me to grow my channel. So let's get into it. So first of all, we know that vector u dot vector v is equal to the magnitude of u times magnitude of v and cos the angle in between. so which is theta. So we just work out vector u dot v first, okay? So u dot v, so u is 1, -2. So in column form, okay? Dot the vector v, and v we need to find out. So let's say x and y, okay? Now to work out the dot product for this, of course, we just times the I component together. And then we add the product of the j component. So that's all it is, okay? So 1 times x is x. We plus -2 times y, which is -2y. So plus minus 2y is minus 2y. So that is dot product for u and v. So u dot v equal this. But then we know that u dot v is 1. So therefore, we have 1 is equal to x minus 2y. So what I do, I just move this on the side, okay? So that will give me 1 plus 2y. That is equal to x. So let's name this equation number 1, okay? Because we're going to need this later. So now we know that u dot v, so vector u dot vector v also equal to magnitude of u times magnitude of v and cos the angle in between. So u dot v, we already know that is equal to 1. Okay? Let me work out to the magnitude of u. So we know that u, let me write here, u is equal to 1 -2. So therefore, the magnitude of u, by using Pythagoras theorem, we just go 1 square is 1 plus -2 square is just like 2 square, if you like, and square root. So therefore, 1 square is 1 and 2 square is 4. So we add them together, you should get a 5. Okay, so square root of 5. And we find magnitude of vector v. So magnitude of v is equal to, so x and y, so x square plus y square. Because vector v is this. And we square root of this. So there you go. Then cos the angle in between. So the angle in between of these two vectors is 60 degrees. So we find cos of 60. So we know that cos of 60, let me just write this down. Cos of 60 degrees is a half. So now I just substitute this value into the formula. So magnitude of vector of u is square root of 5. And then the magnitude of v is equal to x squared plus y squared square root and times by a half. So there you go. So I'm just get rid of the half first by times 2 on both sides. Okay, easier. Okay, we just want to get rid of fractions. That's all it is for now. So times 2 on both sides, so that cancel out. So what I get on the right hand side is 2 is equal to. Now remember, if we have square root of a times square root of b, so that will give me ab square root. So therefore, square root of 5 times square root of x squared plus y squared is exactly the same as this. Plus y squared. And then square root. So there you go. So I'm going to square both sides. Okay, 2 squared is 4. So let me move this up. So 2 squared is 4. And then square of the square root, it cancels out. So on the left hand side is 4. On the right hand side is this. So plus y squared. So now I just expand the brackets out. The 4, I just write it down. And then I go 5 times x squared will give me 5x squared. And we have 5 times y squared will give me plus 5y squared. And we know that x is equal to 1 plus 2y. So let's name this equation number 2. So we just substitute equation number 1 into equation number 2. So let me just write this down. Substitute equation number 1 into equation number 2. So that means 4 is equal to 5 x squared. So x is 1 plus 2y. And square because it's x squared. And then we add 5y squared. So what I do now is I just expand the brackets by using perfect square. So I just expand it on here. So plus 2y all square. So we just go 1 square, give me 1, and 1 times 2y is 2y, and we double it, so that give me 4y, so plus 4y. And then 2y square, so that means 2 square is 4, so plus 4y square. So that is, so 4, I just write this down, so 5, 1 plus 4y plus 4y square, and we add this 5y square out. Then I just remove the brackets, so 4 is equal to 5 times 1 will give me 5, 5 times 4 will give me 20, so 20y, and 5 times 4 it give me 20, so 20y square, and we add 5y square. So now we just collect the like terms. So what we have here is 20y square. We add another 5y square. So that will give me 4 is equal to, so we have 25y square, and we add 20y and plus 5. Now what I do now is I just move the 4 on the other side, so become minus. So 0 is equal to 25y square plus 20y. So 4 move on that side becomes 5 minus 4, which is 1. So we add 1. So this is exactly the same as 25y square plus 20y plus 1 is equal to 0. Now I just use quadratic formulas to solve these equations here. So we know that y is equal to negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac, and square root of this over 2a. And we know that a is equal to 25, b is equal to 20, and c is equal to 1. So now I just substitute this value in. So y is equal to negative b, which is negative 20, plus or minus 20 square minus 4 times a, which is 25, and times c, which is 1. Of course, we square root of this over 2 times a. A is 25, so 2 times 25 will give me 50. So now I just put that on a calculator. So I just go 20 square minus 4 times 25 times 1. So that give me 300. So I just write this down, is equal to negative 20 plus or minus 300, square root of course, over 50. So therefore, y is equal to, so I just go negative 20 minus square root of 300 over 50. So that will give me 0.75. Okay, correct to 2 decimal place. So answer, shift, store in A. So y equals negative 0.75. Or y is equal to, so negative 20 plus square root of 300 over 50. So which is 0.05. So let me just store that in memory B first. So there you go. So negative 0.05. So now what we need to do, we just need to find the x values. So we know that x is equal to 1 plus 2y. Okay. So x is equal to 1 plus 2 lots of y. But y is negative 0.75. So that will give me, so just put that on a calculator. So it's negative 0.75 is on memory A. So just go 1 plus 2 lots of A. So negative 0.49. Okay, so negative 0.49 for x. So x is equal to 1 plus 2 lots of negative 0.05. So that is equal to, so just go 1 plus 2 lots of b. So there you go, 0.89. 0.89. So therefore, vector v is equal to, when x is negative 0.49, y is equal to negative 0.75. Now we write vector in column form because the questions is given in column form, okay? So keep that in mind for me. Or v is equal to 0.89 or negative 0.05. There you go. I hope you got it correct. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.